Hey, we're live.
Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
I'm JULIEWOODS, Jwow, the urban Bliss Shaman.
Yes, and Maria from VYVEVIDEOGRAPhy, or Vive. How would you say it?
I want to say Vive because I know you're Hispanic. And I'm like, that's probably not even Spanish. I learned all my Spanish at Taco Bell and off the street signs in LA. That's true. I don't speak any Spanish. So I just said Vive.
Vive. I want it to sound like vibe, like good vibes. Vibe.
Vive. Okay. So Vive.
But I take any form of it. Vive, vibe.
Right? Any of those.
Any of those. Be wild.
This is just terrible food. I don't even eat. Okay. I need to put something in my stomach. So I just get it in there.
What are you drinking?
Oh my god. So it's this tea concoction where I put like 12 tea bags and 4 cups of hot water. And I steep it for like 3 days. And I literally take the tea bags, like I take the tea leaves out and I just steep them in there raw and then I strain them out. And then I take that concentrate and then I take about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and a quarter teaspoon of mock extreme and a teaspoon of turmeric for my bones, and the mock extreme is for energy, and the tea is like, you know, breathe deep and throat coat and stuff like that, and ginger and nettles and horsetail. And, yeah, right.
Horsetail!
Right? So, yeah, I know it's nature stuff, just okay, like, right, all right. I know some stuff, about that much, I know some stuff. And then, let's see what else is in there. Black pepper for the turmeric. Helps potentiate the turmeric. And then ginger. And I'm a ginger freak. So I mean like fresh ground organic ginger, a packed rounded teaspoon of that. Okay, and I just do that. And the apple cider vinegar helps clean out your arteries and helps lower your blood pressure. And the turmeric is for my joints. I'm 58. It's for my joints.
Anti-inflammatory.
It is an anti-inflammatory. And you were just telling me about Linden.
So the kind of
she actually knows stuff about that nature stuff.
Yeah. So basically, kind of like what you say. You said that you take about 12 tea bags and then you take them out of the packet, right? And then you steep it for 3 days. What I do is I measure out an ounce of either stinging nettles or ostra or linden or red clover blossoms or violet. There's different, astragalus. And I steep them overnight and it's called an infusion. So instead of a tea, which a tea is quick, it's probably 5 minutes or 10 minutes, very small amount quantity of the herb. With an infusion, you're getting a lot more of the properties of the plant.
Exactly. And all of the teas are organic.
Yes, right.
I know I'm getting it right. So yeah, I mean, I'm at a place where I'm about to start buying things, just the herbs in bulk instead of getting teas.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I would recommend, there's definitely different suppliers. If you could get yourself a co-op, like call like Frontier
or
and
Harvest.
Set up, or even Mountain Rose. You call them up and say you want a co-op account, so that if you have a certain amount of orders that you make, like I think it's like 250 order, you get a discount, an even higher discount for the price. So for a pound of nettle, instead of it costing you $12, $13, it'll cost you $10.
I'll take it.
I'll take it, right? Exactly. Especially if you buy like 5 pounds. So
now, do you have to meet a certain quota each month, or just when you make the order?
Not when you make the order, but you could have your friends order with you. And they also sell all kinds of things like toothpaste and spices. And for example, I buy like a pound of oregano. I cook a lot with oregano and bay leaves. So I buy the pound versus buying like at Whole Foods, like the little container.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I buy the 1 pound bag of stevia, and I buy whole leaf stevia. It's whole leaf organic stevia. It's like the whole thing. They took it, they ground it up, they put it in a bag. Yay. I actually like that.
Yeah, I actually love talking about like powder, because that's stevia, like they powder it for you. Slippery elm bark.
Which is phenomenal for your voice.
It's phenomenal because it's like a lozenge. So you put it with honey. So whenever you have a sore throat, even if you have diarrhea or you don't have like you're constipated, slippery elm bark.
Slippery elm bark.
But not like the you need the powder. Don't get the bark itself. Make sure you
because you're not gonna get. The whole thing to powdering is to maximize the surface area of what's exposed to the whatever you're steeping, and so the finer the grain, the granules that you get, the more surface area there is per unit.
Yeah.
Okay, and so even when you're making like pot butter, it's better to like grind up the thing than throwing the leaves in, because now you're getting the most out of every single molecule of the pot in the butter. Makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
So.
And also for that slippery elm bark powder, you could even put it in like children's milk because it's so nutritious. Like there's something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to like people could live off of like slippery elm bark for like you mentioned a Snicker that if you had nothing to eat.
Oh yeah, a Snickers bar.
A Snickers bar.
Every 3 days.
Every 3 days.
Every 3 days.
Like that's all you have to eat. Like it could keep you alive. Well, slippery
elm
bark could also keep people alive.
Wow.
It's really, really nutritious.
So wouldn't we want to put that in formula in third world countries?
That would be amazing.
See, I hear things like this and I wonder why, if we know that this is true, then why don't we get a consortium of like the ultra wealthy and say, can we just have a little bit of the interest off of one of your 4,000 accounts, and we're just going to buy a whole bunch of slippery elm powder and formula and test it out and see if the babies are healthier, because if they're healthier, then
that would be great.
We just make,
yeah.
Can we just like start a company that just makes, like slippery elm formula for third world countries as a powder?
That would be like genius.
So, I mean, see, I look forward to the day when I can say something like that. Like, okay, look, so Cameron, I'm looking at you right there. If you know people who are ultra wealthy, I want to talk with them about how to make a big difference with little moves. Okay, so we're on this. I'm Jwow. I'm the Urban Bliss Shaman, right? And we're live, so you can go to JULIEWOODS.com or come to Facebook and go to PLANETJWOW.
And what are you doing right now with PLANETJWOW? Can you speak a little further? I know we're like here having tea.
Yeah, we are.
But I want people to.
Do you want something to beef up the battery?
No, it's good for now.
Okay.
We got 20%.
Okay.
We could do this.
Okay. What am I doing on PLANETJWOW?
Or can you speak about the course?
I can speak about the course. There. I will do that. Absolutely. That would make sense, right?
That would make sense.
I have a 3-part course called From Battles to Bridges, Composting Divisiveness into Diversity in a Humanarchy. And the goal of the course is overall to teach people fundamental principles of what it will take to use a language of inclusion and empowerment to build something that isn't based on a patriarchy or matriarchy. Because a patriarchy, by definition, means that men are in the ascendant. A matriarchy, by definition, means that women are in the ascendant, and both of those suck for the other gender. So can we just be like, what's in the ascendant is being a really great human being? Because I think that makes sense. And so this course is basically bridging people out of the patriarchy's culture of consent and into the humanarchy's culture of welcome. And the reason why I'm doing it that way is because in a culture of consent, rape happens and you can get away with that. Because, like she said, I know I, sucked my outie in her innie when she was unconscious. But she said before she passed out that we were gonna, and so I just did. Okay. In a culture of welcome, if it is not an enthusiastic yes, it is a no. It's just a no. And that's a radical, tiny thought that changes everything in a culture. Because if you need to be someone who's welcoming, in order for a thing to happen, then it goes from a penetration to becoming an entering, because you've been invited in and you know that you've been invited in. Okay? So teaching that language first to the general group, and then it's really cool. Then I've got 6 different groups where I'm breaking it down into what I'm calling growth groups. Yeah. Okay, so there's specialized groups that come with the course, and it's everything from like helping caretakers and caregivers get into a relationship with reciprocity that I'm calling reciprocity, where they're better advocates for their charges. I've got one for parents. I've got one for community and public service workers. I've got ones for people who are humans, and looking to humans, the human, your humanity moving into your divinity is your trajectory of success and greatness and being able to make the biggest difference in the world. And so I call that humanity into divinity, humanity. And the people who are doing that are humans. Right there, right there. Look, if I make up enough language, we will build the bridge. Okay, seriously. We will get the bridges built out of, excuse me, concepts that go from inside each of us. I mean, here's the beauty about words, Maria. It's words. Words let us create. They facilitate us creating worlds inside of other beings that we may never have seen and may never touch physically, and yet we touch and change their lives by expanding their capacity for imagination with the new language that we give them. And so if you have a language, and I do, a language that's deliberately engineered to build complex bridges that whole sectors of other communities can cross, so that there's this cross-pollination, then you don't wind up with miscegenation and amalgamation and homogenization and the Stepford person, pasteurization of the human animal. You don't wind up with that. You wind up with more of a stew. Now, the thing that I love about stew, I'm a stew girl. Some people are soup people, some people are stew people. This body was not built on steamed vegetables. I like them both. And soup is put it in the Vitamix and all that stuff is together. Stew is you got your little piece of beef and you got your carrot and you got your potato and you got all that stuff in between that bridges between the beef tribe and the carrot tribe and the potato tribe. It's called gravy, and gravy in a stew is just bridges between the individuated elements of the stew. We are a human stew. When you bridge across diversity, when you create the num gravy of loving, inclusive, discerning language that's empowering for all parties concerned, you wind up with this wonderful stew of uplifted humanity that's optimized, right? That's optimized for love, for care, for creativity, for innovation, for helpfulness instead of hopelessness, right? It takes us out of an automated and a priori victimhood. Okay, yeah, I got going. Okay, so it's a thing. I see it. I want it. I want it for the world, because it is complex in its results and it is simple in its application. That's the. It has to be simple in application or people won't do it. And that's the piece that I've spent over a decade trying. I read this story about how Einstein came up with the theory of relativity. He said, space is curved. Okay, I have to invent some math and make up some science because it makes sense to me and no one's gonna understand. So he kept going, okay, space is curved. Everybody's like, didn't make sense to me. Okay, space is curved. Nope, didn't make sense to me. All right, space is curved. And so it's like, whoa, no, wait a minute. No, that almost made sense, Al. Like just a little bit more. Okay, space curve. That. Okay, and then when you hit that first follower, you get somebody who's like, what Albert meant was. Okay, exactly. Okay, which is what. So in so many ways, you guys are translators for me. You know, like the way that you do video has me feel that I am fully represented, and people who might not. I mean, they wouldn't get me otherwise. They get to get me because you get me out there, and they also get to get me because you said, "Can we focus on this?" Because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this.
Stay right here.
And she's like, "No, baby, Vogue."
Vogue. Right here. Subtle.
Right. Okay. Subtle.
Subtle. Yeah. Look how much you move.
Look
how much you move. And that's just that. Look at that. There's a lot of movement.
There's a lot of movement.
Look at this.
Right?
That has a lot of power.
It does have a lot of power.
Because if you come here, when I say come here,
Right. And that, as I have said in the past, I am as subtle as a heavy loaded Mack truck on a 30% incline with no brakes.
Whatever that means.
And I won't stop until I explode when I hit a wall at the end. It's just, there's so much that I want to get out, and I'm so grateful for those of you who come on board, because I can't. If I started talking right now, and there was someone in this house 24 hours a day for the next 60 years, I wouldn't get out the stuff that I've got to say that I already have. We're not talking about what I'd be creating during that time, and I only have one mouth to get it all out. I watch people's lives just have this massive exponential growth, and they take in the things that I share. And so whether I have self-doubt or I don't believe that I'm worthy of downloading or any of the mess that happens in my head, there is no way in this world, in this dimension, that I am not going to share what comes through that's going to make a difference for other people. That's not happening. I spent 47 of 58 years making people's lives better. And I didn't have the kind of reach, and I did not have the kind of support that I have now. We have an entire world that we can, in a lifetime, if I can make being smart, wonderful, caring, active, and an optimized human as sexy as The Simpsons made being stupid and not sharing gifts and being territorial, as sexy as they made that. If I can do that, that's a completely different world.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going for. And technology is helping me do it. And the lovely thing is, by collaborating.
The power's in collaboration.
Girl, I gotta tell you, for real, the power of collaboration is off the chart. It's off the chart because then you get to leverage time. You know,
and time is the best resource we have.
It's like they say, land. Buy land. They're not making it anymore. And once your time is gone, right. And once Mark Twain said that, once your time is gone, it's gone. There's no getting it back. People who are time travelers. We're not going into that right now. But there's usually no getting it back. Okay, and Collaboration
is where it's at, because basically people help you do those things that you have no expertise on.
Or in some cases, something that you have expertise on that is not your bliss, and they can't breathe. They're so happy every time they can do it. I'm like, I love spreadsheets, not like my little sister, like my little, how I am about like that ginger. It's like, Jan is about spreadsheets. Like, great.
Here you go.
Okay, I can do it. I will lose you to this spreadsheet. That's fantastic. can you please do this, and this, like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which frees me up to then go find the other thing that somebody else can do better than me and with more joy, so that I can finally do the one thing that I want to do. I want to do one thing.
Yeah.
I want to download.
You want to download.
I want to download, and I want to teach, and I want to share.
What else?
And I want to see people's lives get better because I'm doing it. I mean, it's just that. That blisses me out. In, around, above. That blisses me preposition.
Do you see the light going on and off?
Mm-hmm.
That's just because I'm moving the light. Sorry about that.
Yep.
My phone.
No problem.
It's about
to die.
About to die.
Let's have it not do that.
Let's have it not do that. This is getting juicy.
I like juicy. Lots and lots.
Okay, here we go.
Fantastic.
I think it should work.
It did.
So, Jwow.
Dear heart. Maria Fernandez. Oh, I love saying your name.
So, Jwow, you were teaching me, or are teaching me still, because I'm still developing and learning this language.
Evolving it with me, sweetheart, in so many ways.
You said evolving, right?
Evolving it with me.
You said when I came here that I had a big what?
Which big? Yeah, you do. She's got a big dick. There's no question.
How can you say that?
We've defined penetrative energy and relegated it to gender. Because there's an outie. And we've taken receptive energy and we've relegated it to a gender. People have innies.
Right.
Okay. What folks don't get is that sets us up for being divided almost automatically. You can tell she's a videographer, right?
Well, I didn't want to cut your head so much.
The head cut.
The head cut.
It's only part of a Jwow. It's like there's no Jwow here. The Jwow is missing. It only has it. Yes, it has no. It has no brain. Okay.
Here we go. What? So we were saying the gender of the outie.
Yeah, the gender of the outie and the gender of the innie, and the gender of the innie. And in a patriarchal society, outies are celebrated more than innies are. It's patriarchy. And yet, when you take it away from being a masculine trait to drive forward and cleave things and what have you, and you take it away from being a feminine trait to, receive and what have you. For example, you want to know how we know we're in a patriarchy? They have an axiom that says it's better to give than to receive. It's better to do an outie than an innie. Oh, darling. There are little signs like that everywhere, and we don't think about it.
Wow, and
right?
I'm always given.
Because we're told, and we are told as women that we're supposed to give because it is our penance for having an innie in an outie society. So if we're so flawed that we're not walking around with an outie in an outie society, then we're going to have to absolve ourselves by doing the energetic equivalent of having an outie, which is to give and give and give all the time and be told that that's good.
Wow.
Isn't that deep?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I want a humanarchy, because then it is as wonderful to give as to receive. That really hit you hard.
Yeah, I have so much trouble receiving.
Because you're not supposed to, because you've already got an innie, so why should you receive anything? Because you're built to receive, which is, trust me, the dumbest unspoken statement on the planet. You already have an innie to receive, so why should you be allowed to receive because you already have one? It's like, if I have one, I'm an expert at it, so why don't you ask me about how to be an empowered receiver since I'm already built for it? when you take those characteristics out and away from gender, then you just have people who are penetrative and people who are receptive primarily, and it doesn't matter whether they have an innie or an outie. Look at you and Edwin. That is one of the most receptive males that I've ever met. He is precious and hunky. You know, I mean, he's just like, he's all guy, and he's receptive, and he's just like daddy with daddy sauce. Okay? Well, he is. Oh my God. All right? Your penetrative energy in your receptive built body gives you a balance that, with very little honing around the receptive side, has your penetrativeness be as soft as the receptiveness that you actually do celebrate. And I want that in whichever version is necessary for everyone, because the having balance, being able to be present with something, in a way that takes care of it, and you get nourished either way. You know, it's being, pansexual on date night. Like, are you interested? Can you fog up a mirror without mechanical assistance? Great. Okay. Don't you want to ask if I'm? No, I'm good. Whatever you got, I'm interested.
Bring it.
Yeah, just bring it. If I've never seen one before, we'll figure it out. I was like, right? Yeah, that's right. So these characteristics then get to take on a life of their own, so that they can be developed and optimized. Because penetrative energy in a culture of consent, all it does is cleave, divide. Penetrative energy in a culture of welcome gets to enter with grace, and knowing that it's going to be well received. Welcome. Well, come in. Welcome.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, sweetheart, these are can you please put me somewhere where I can play word games with people all day long? If they would just understand that if they get language like I do, the world gets really different.
Ooh, you hear this?
It does.
We have that capability.
We're doing it. But we're doing this. I've never done this. This is fun.
This is fun. It's the first time, and what's great about it is that I'll get to share it. I'll put it on your planet, Jwow. And then my followers on YouTube get to see it, and we just get to share it and just see how it goes. And then hopefully people who are watching this post comments, maybe they have questions. And what I like to mostly do is when people have questions, answering those questions, because that's where the curiosity
that's
starts,
where the bridges get built,
and that's bridging.
Exactly.
So I encourage anybody watching this video. We're having a blast.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous over here.
So I mean, I am just having tea.
See, and I'm actually gonna. You want yours hotted up? I'm gonna get some.
Yeah, I need some more.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna step out. She may still talk with you.
Yeah.
I'm Jwow. I'm the Urban Bliss Shaman. This is my friend, and she's. When I say friend, it's not that this is my colleague and friend that we just met 10 minutes ago. No, this chick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, this one. This is a good one. This one, we're going to keep this one. Edwin, we're keeping your wife. You need to get over here and come collect her so we can keep you and your kids, too.
So like I was saying, basically what we're doing here is creating a language, a community of people that are interested, that want to learn something more. And you know what? In order to learn, your cup has to be empty.
Yeah, right?
Right?
You gotta have a place to put what you get.
You gotta, if you want to learn, like, empty out the beliefs, everything that you've been taught, and empty it out, and let something else fill your cup, right? Because that's what
very
learning.
generous in asking me and letting me share stuff, because I love your brain. I think you're brilliant, and I really want.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't say that lightly. And the only way to get the things out of me is to ask questions, and you ask great questions, and you dive deep, and I love it.
Oh, wow.
And you also question things where I'm like, wow, it never occurred to me that if you don't have that piece, then this would not have made sense because I've been living in this. You know, I'm a fish in water, and you're asking me about water. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're like, no, really, seriously, see, it's slippery on me. You're breathing it, it's slippery, and like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's that.
Yeah.
I really love it, Maria. I've had the pleasure of having, and Pay, I keep talking about this. We want to have a salon where we get like you and Kalidasi and like a bunch of folks on the
like a table.
Yeah, literally, and like sit around and have this round table and talk about these things. And I want to take seeds of so for me to do it for Planet Jwow, I would take one of my quotes and I put it in the center and go, each of you say what that means for you.
Ooh.
Okay, this is worlds.
Worlds
getting built.
And talking about worlds,
Oh.
I'm looking at this.
Oh my.
And then, whoa, this is a beast.
Yeah, that's my Beauty and the Beast. That's my beast. That's my beast.
With love's lights wings did Io perch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do, that there is love. Oh, that's Shakespeare. I don't speak that.
I'm a Shakespeare freak.
You are. Kalidasi is.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I was just starting to play with it. Yeah.
Cool. So choose Bliss.
Yeah, so this is Choose Bliss. So here, what I did, this is pretty cool.
Oh wow, look at your writing. Then maybe you can see it. It's just very, I always love seeing people's writing. Like, it's so cute.
That would get interesting for you because it depends upon who's out.
Oh, really?
Yep, they have different handwriting.
No way.
Oh, way. Juju's left-handed. I'm right-handed. Juju's left-handed.
Oh, wow.
I'm allergic to honey. Juju's not.
No way.
Way.
No way.
So what I did was I took a bunch of these.
You write so pretty.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Wow. Okay, what?
And so I distilled it down to these. So what I wanted to do, I'm just saying this right here, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take these phrases and then I wanted to just read them over and over and like have a daily audio. Yeah, like a mantra. And then just have this daily audio. And people are on their way to work and they can just grab the 1 minute of me reading this over and over again and put a quick music thing on the front and the back end, and then they can just loop this and think through it over the course of the day. And not even a minute, like 30 seconds. Like, get in, you've got the thoughts, get out, and just do that. Get it so that people are doing this multiple times a day. So imagine as you're going through your day and what you're hearing is, I choose bliss. I choose to empower myself in the ways I empower others. I choose me over everyone. I choose my oxygen mask as necessary. And minus the screeching.
That's kind of like what I heard when I was meditating.
Yeah, right.
What is that note?
Right. So minus the screeching. So you hear this over and over again, and you listen to this every time you go to the bathroom, for 30 seconds right before you go into the meeting, for 30 seconds right when you sit down at your desk, and the next thing you know, you've done it, 10, 15, 20 times, and you're programming yourself with this every day. I just gave it to a friend and said, put it up on Facebook and see what happens. And then people started coming up to me in concerts like, I love Tuesday's Bliss Choice. And I'm like, I gave a bunch of them to my friend and she put them up. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, but I didn't say it like that. And, well, sometimes I did. That it let me see that it takes so little to up-level folks out of their hopelessness. They just need the words that bring them out of a victim reality. And there's only empowerment in these.
Can I touch upon that, the victim part?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of discussions about that because I do understand the concept of, looking at your stories and not sounding like a victim, changing the narrative so that you could learn the lesson.
See, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
Nope.
Okay. All right, so let's hear what you agree with. And then my other question is, what about those women who have been through like physical abuse in like relationships that they had stayed in it for so long because of ignorance or fear or didn't have help, and then when they retell their stories, sometimes we're like you're still telling the story from a victimized point of view. How do you help, not fix, maybe how do you iron that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
So
Thank you.
you're welcome, sweetheart. So I started working with trauma and abuse survivors. God, I must have been about like 13 or 14. And the thing that this is what I believe. I believe that you get to tell your story the way that you felt it. And if the way that you felt it was that you were a victim, you get to say that in a safe space. And you get to say it at the same time that you get to stay open to hearing and using language that could have you pull back the power that got taken from you. No one can take your power away from you unless you want them to. You kiss my ass on that. He's 6'4", you're 5'2", and he keeps hitting you in the face with his fist. And he's got your kids, and he's told you flat out, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill your children. Okay, you feel stuck, and legitimately so. And anybody out there who's in that situation, who has someone saying on a spiritual level, like you've gone to go get spiritual help, and like, well, on a certain level, you chose this for yourself, so that you can choose your way out from a more empowered place. I would love to hear who says that. I would like to hear from you. I would like for you to run away from them after you get their name and information to send to me as fast as you can. And I'm going to compile a blacklist of people who should not be gone to by people who've been abused, because that is spiritual gaslighting. Like, you need more gaslighting on top of getting your face bashed in. I'm so up to here with that.
Sorry, but there's going to be people that don't know what gaslighting is.
Thank you. Okay, this is what I need. I need for you guys to... Penny's going to kill me with this.
Oh, yeah, the table.
It'll be okay. No. I'm getting this stuff right now.
Let's do it right.
Kill the kids. Okay.
Let's do it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, tea with a little pea.
I know. Oh, I should get us little teacups with the little teacup plates.
And then
we put our fingers up there, little pinkies up.
All right, gaslighting.
Go.
Oh, did it stop? What happened?
I hit you.
What happened?
Oh, we're still going.
No, but we're stuck.
Oh, we're stuck.
What happened?
I don't know, and it's still running.
What? It's so
Sometimes
weird.
That's bizarre. Hello.
It's still going because it says 9.
Yeah, it's still filming.
Wow. Well, let's cut it here and see.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Hopefully. That's
bizarre.
Why did it stop? It didn't like the gaslighting part.
No, I guess not. Come on, little camera. No. Oh. I will not.
Okay. Well, I don't even know if
It won't stop it.
I know, like...
Well, yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow. Orientation is locked. Rotate the device back. It's rotated back. We'll put that. Okay. So if you guys are seeing wild things rubbing around on your...
I wonder if they get to see us.
I know. Wouldn't that be a hoot?
And then we're stuck.
Right. Okay. Y'all need to let us know whether or not you can see this. That's funny. Okay, so we're going to have to shut it. In case you can